Just down at Cumberland Hospital and doing a bit of a walk around. This is the old female factory. Gates opened this week, so I'm not going to go inside because it's probably just open for maintenance to get in and out, but it's pretty cool to see the inside. There's not much in here, as you can see now, but just the fact that it exists still. So this is an old convict facility for the women, the female convicts. As you can see, nothing happening with the EMF. Oh, little touch. There was a touch literally last time I was here at this point, right at the gate. I was in this corner. But yeah, so the female factory was, a convict place for convict women. And so early in the colony, it was pretty notorious for several riots. And then at later stages, it developed more into a kind of regular jail, I believe, but also because of its close proximation to Cumberland Hospital on this side, and actually over behind it, there's an orphanage on the other side. So a place that's tied to a heck of a lot of trauma, like historically going back better part of 220 to 130 years in some cases. So yeah, very interesting place. I'll show you, there's the clock tower up there that'll go off at 4 o'clock. So a lot of this building here has been repurposed now, but these days so much of Cumberland is all but sealed up. You can see that old building outline against the wall of the female factory. There's the gate. Again, one part of open brickwork with the that mesh, that ironwork in there. So I'd say most of this is very clean. Now it's been quite lovingly restored the last few years. Here's some vintage photography over here, so you get a sense of what this place was like. There we go. Literally like another world, but by the same token, how good is it that we can come down here and really it hasn't changed. It just hasn't changed. So the clock tower up there, an old bell just down here. Very quiet down here at Cumberland, as you can see. Just up there, it's a more modern building, probably late 1800s, early 1900s. I think at one point I was led to believe that was the old superintendent's building. These days it is the mental health sciences building, so that's where the Westmead psychotherapy program still runs out of. So it's very much in use, but again, not as busy as it used to be years ago. There's the what's now the Western Sydney Startup Hub, which operates out of this building here. There's a little cafe, which is it's very cool that they have stuff like that. But yeah, very different to what it was like when I worked down here at the hospital. Some more buildings, as you can probably see just from the windows, everything's very dark. So much of this feels like it's not currently being used at all. I just get the sense most of these buildings are probably empty. Let's take a closer look over here. Yep, just empty. I'll just put that. Oh, hello. There's a light from the EMF meter. So yeah, looks like that could be used by the cafe, but if nothing coming back from the EMF anymore. Coming down, so this is Parramatta River. Now, a funny story about the river. There's a kookaburra as well. Look at that, classic piece of Australiana. Right there, right on cue. Big one too. So he looks pretty well fed. But yeah, classic thing, the Parramatta River it's got a weir just further downstream, closer to Parramatta, the city itself. So that's just down in this direction. And we got to be aware of snakes as well. That doesn't surprise me at all. It's probably a little cold for them right now. But what's really funny is that you can see there's one weir down here. Actually, there's a way to walk down. So let's have a look, see if we can get a little bit closer. This used to be fenced off. So you can see one weir just down there. And then there's a second, much larger one further down the river. But I'll head down this way a bit because I'm actually curious to see what we can see from here as well. So we're at the back of the female factory now. So this is this is great. Look at all this big stonework down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point there was a bridge going across the river, probably adjacent to the weir, because I know in a few places on the river that's the case, and that they've been taken down. So there we go. So you can see down there. So I might step down. Looks like I can get down without too much trouble. I'm gonna have a look and tell a funny little story when I get to the bottom. Okay, hey, this is cool. All right, so you can see the difference in the water level there on that weir. So this will help illustrate the story as well. So when I was working in community health, we used to come down to Cumberland Hospital to get people admitted if they were really unwell. And that way goes down to Parramatta River. You can see the bridge down there near Parramatta Park, and that's the stadium. Combank Stadium or Bankwest Stadium, whatever it's called this week. So that is just there. Okay. Pretty hard, I would imagine, for any kind of shark to get up here and over unless the river is completely overflowing, which does happen from time to time. So when I came down to Cumberland, which is just up at that end, we had one of the patients were like, I saw a shark in the river. And people were like, no, you're crazy. It's not possible. Sharks can't get up into the river. We had massive flooding at one point, and I was crossing the bridge where those trains go over now. So that grey bridge, I'll put my finger into shot just there. Sorry, I've put everything out of focus. I look down, I see a shark that's about 5 feet long. There's a bull shark. So yeah, no, they actually can get at the other end of the river and get themselves stuck. And the fin came out of the water, and I was like, you've got to be kidding. I was down picking up someone's medication. So anyone tells you the supposed furphy about there are sharks in this part of the river, there's a good chance it's true, okay, because I've seen them. All right, let's take a walk. This is very cool to see. Very cool to see. All right, let's take a walk back up the hill. Looks like we might have the remnants of an Aboriginal scar tree down here. I think there's a very good chance of that, looking at that bark and the holes. So with a tree like this, especially when it's in proximity to water as this one is, what you commonly find is that these trees were associated with burials, and the bones could often be placed inside the hollow at the base of the tree, and then the scarring happens on one side. Usually I just seem to have found facing away from the river, so it's almost like when you're coming down to the river, you know this is a sacred spot. You can see the base of this tree is completely hollowed out. You can see straight through it. So I wouldn't be at all surprised, and there's another hole right through there. Yeah, if at some point this either was a burial position in and of itself or served as one. So it's really good that it's actually survived here on the banks of the Parramatta River. All right, take a walk back up the hill. So there's some of that back gate to the female factory up there. Just seeing you in. All right, let's head this way. Cool. It's pretty down here. It's very pretty down here. Yeah, it looks like you can really do a lot of exploring on the banks of the river these days. Used to be quite overgrown. And I like how our little kookaburra friend has gone and found, oh, there's two over there, one on the grass, but I'm really liking this one over here on the fountain. That's very cool. Some classic Australiana. There we go, hoppy flies. All right, just moving on. Let's come back, more kookaburras around. So it's a good healthy environment down here, there's no question of that. I just can't get over how quiet it is down here though. It's so quiet. No wonder people all feel like this place is haunted at night. You don't even have to use your imagination. But from a historical standpoint, I just love being able to come down here and see all of these sandstone buildings that pretty much just remain as they probably have been for 150 years or more in, I suspect, most cases. Because even though these are out at Parramatta, well away from the city, my understanding is that these are some of the oldest buildings in the country. Because yeah, Parramatta was one of the first places that a lot of building occurred. But look at that beautiful sandstone work. Let me get in close, just so you can see all the pick marks in it. Look at that, huh? Wow, hand cut, just like an incredible amount of work. So all those beautiful classic features up there. It's getting close to home time, the road's getting busy, so change of shift at the hospital, so the people starting to head home, coming up through here and out the back. And over here on the left, you can see, it's a pretty good indicator, we're looking at the old forensic ward. Just the giveaway there is that fence with the inversion back into the gate. Certainly didn't stop people. Plenty of people absconded from there in the day, but just going to slow you down that little bit. But if you want out, you're going to get out, especially over a fence like that. But the consequences of doing that are pretty harsh. I don't know what it's like now, but certainly historically in the forensic side of things of mental health and custodial sentences, you probably get out quicker if you don't plead mental health. It's one of the big misnomers. So just coming up to the light rail line, which cuts right through the middle of Cumberland Hospital now. There we go. The hospital's newest and most unexpected addition, the train. I remember about 15 years ago when they were seriously talking about putting this train line in, it was like, you've got to be kidding. Who puts a train line right through the middle of a mental health hospital? Well, apparently the New South Wales government does. And it's here. So I think that's one of those things, just to speak more generally. I'd be very surprised now that this is here if some of these buildings, the ones that don't hold the same historical significance, end up being demolished in the next few years to make way for housing, probably high-rise housing as well. I just struggle to see how that's not gonna happen. You can see over in the background, look at this building and look beyond it, some of the high-rise in Parramatta itself. I can't see that now we've got this infrastructure with the light rail coming literally directly through the hospital and across the old Centre Road bridge. That's Westmead Hospital up in the background. That's the Children's Hospital, and Westmead then behind it. I can't see this staying the way that it is. So, yeah, little tour of Cumberland. Hope you enjoyed. I think it was pretty cool that you can get down to the river these days so easily. There's lots of history down this area, far more than people realise. So come take a look, have some fun, have an adventure, Catch you on the next one.